The shattering sound of a mirror jolted Okonkwo. He looked startled. He took to his heel when he heard his wife Akwa screamed loud. He ran into his wife's room, only to see Akwa facing a broken mirror, hugged to the wall, and blood dripping from her hand. "Not again, Akwa," Okonkwo cried. He carefully pulled his wife away from the tiny pieces of mirror scattered all over the room. "What happened there?" Okonkwo asked his wife, pointing back at the room they just came out from. "What happened to you, Akwam? There is wound on your hand. How did this happen?" Okonkwo persisted, looking closely at his wife. "Just look at me, Okonkwo," his wife Akwa started. "I hate myself so much. I hate the figure I see in the mirror. Just take a look at me, Okonkwo. Just look at my protruding belly. Just look at the stretch marks on my stomach and thighs." Before she could say more, Okonkwo hugged her so tight, rubbing her back gently. "Don't say such things about yourself again. Remember, you just put to bed, Akwam, and with time, just time, you will go back to whom you used to be. I have told you, Akwam, you are a very beautiful woman. When I look at you, I still see my darling wife. Nothing has changed at all." That night, as Akwa sleeps, Okonkwo was restless as he stares at his wife. A lot was going on in his head. This would be the third time his wife shattered her mirror since she delivered their baby. He thought to himself that he had to do something fast before his wife hurts herself so bad. He resorted to buying presents for her almost every day he returns from work. Akwa loved the gifts and she would always dance around the house at the moment. But after some hours, she would become moody again. When Okonkwo saw there wasn't much change in his wife, he contacted his friend Nnam, who advised him to register her in gym, or better still, get a personal fitness trainer for her, if he could afford it. "Wow!" Okonkwo exclaimed. "Why haven't I thought of gym all this while? Thank you so much, Nnam. You have always seemed to have solutions to problems," Okonkwo said to his friend. After much consideration, he came to a conclusion that a personal fitness trainer would be better because it would give his wife room to monitor their baby while she exercises. He started making inquiries, contacting fitness agencies before he was connected with Dave. When he asked how competent he was assured that Dave was a young man who knows his job and has helped a lot of women regain their self-confidence. The following day, he took Dave home to meet with his wife Akwa. When Okonkwo got home that afternoon, Akwa was surprised to see him come home with a visitor when he had not informed her like he normally does. Okonkwo had smiled at her and told her she would not believe the surprise he had in stock for her. He introduced Dave as her personal fitness trainer that would help her get back in shape. It was the best news of the year. Akwa was so excited and hugged her husband and was thanking him. Okonkwo was also happy to see his wife happy in a long time. After they discussed with Dave when he would be suitable for the workout, Dave left and promised to resume the job he was paid for the next day. Dave kept to his words and would always show up in Okonkwo's house in the morning. Okonkwo loved the fact that he was punctual, gentle, and patient with his wife Akwa. While they exercised, he would leave them and go about his job. With time, he observed that his wife had become more happier, cheerful, and he was also happy that the wife he knew is gradually coming back to him. There was a lot of improvement. Akwa was so dedicated, and Okonkwo loved that for her. Some months after, Akwa was almost the way she used to be, and her fitness trainer still shows up every morning. Okonkwo had asked her if Dave should be asked to stop coming, since she always complained of being tired from the workout each time he makes advances on her. But Akwa said no, that she still needed Dave's service and guide for a few more months. Okonkwo reluctantly agreed, but wasn't happy his wife now rejects his touches and would always give him excuses why they couldn't be intimate. Okonkwo had endured, telling himself that soon Dave's contract would be over and his wife wouldn't need to burn all her energies doing workout. One fateful morning, Okonkwo had woken up late and was in a hurry to get to his office. He had left his wife Akwa and her personal trainer and dashed out of the house. It was when he was almost close to his office that he remembered he forgot his file at home. "Oh my God, what kind of day is this?" Okonkwo shouted. He signed and reversed his car. When he got to his house, he parked outside his gate and rushed inside the house to pick his file. The sight that welcomed him when he entered the room sent him staggering. In total disbelief, he looked at his dear wife he cherished so much on the bed with Dave, who was supposed to be just a fitness trainer. What on earth is happening here? Okonkwo thundered, rage swelling up in his eyes. The two adulterers were shocked, and they turned to see Okonkwo standing at the door. Akwa and Dave jumped off from the bed, and Okonkwo threatened to kill any of them that tried to step forward. "Just move an inch and you would be dead," Okonkwo warned. Akwa started shedding tears. "Now I understand it clearly. It is staring me at the face while you are always tired after your daily workouts. I can clearly see the workout you engage in daily under my roof. How could you, Akwa?" Okonkwo was saying, heartbroken, pointing at his wife. When Dave saw that his attention was on his wife, he rushed towards the door to escape, but Okonkwo turned in time to catch him. The two men struggled, and Dave got hold of a glass table and smashed it on Okonkwo's head. Immediately, Okonkwo let go of him. Blood was gushing out of his head. He staggered and slumped on the hard floor. Akwa cried, "What have you done, Dave?" rushing to where her husband was lying. She trembled and screamed on top of her voice when she felt her husband's heartbeat and there was no sign of life. "Dave, what have you done? You have killed my husband. You just killed my husband, David. Oh my God, I am finished." Akwa was crying. Dave cautiously bent down to feel his heartbeat, while Akwa watched with hope in her eyes. But Dave got up slowly and said to her, "He is gone. I think we killed him. He is gone." "You killed him, Dave. Not us. You just killed my husband." Akwa was crying. Dave rushed to her, covering her mouth with his palm. "What are you doing? Do you want to alert the neighbors?" he was saying to her. "Nobody needs to know this, Akwa. If people get to know what happened here, we both are finished. I think we should think and act fast before someone finds out. Then let us inform the police and let them know what happened. We could tell them it's an accident." Akwa said to him, No, we can't do that, Akwa. They won't believe us. We have to think of something else. Why not us take him into his car, drive him to the riverside by the night, and dump his body and the car at the river shore? It will get people think he committed suicide." Dave said. "How on earth could you even think of that, David? How can I do that to my own husband? Where is your conscience, Dave?" Akwa cried. "But I thought this is what you wanted, Akwa. You wanted your husband out of the way so that we can be together. And here we have it, and you want to mess up everything." "Yes, I wanted him out of the way, but not this way. I didn't ask you to kill him for me," Akwa cried. When it started getting dark, they drove Okonkwo's car inside the compound and carried him inside the car and drove off. After a long drive, they got to the river and was glad people had left the riverside. They quickly carried him out of the car and dumped him inside the river and hurried out. They made sure to leave the car behind. That night, Akwa couldn't sleep. She would cry, asking herself what she had done. The next day, she informed the police her husband was missing. She also informed her in-laws that their son was missing. Okonkwo's aged mother had cried her eyes out while hoping and praying for her son's return. Okonkwo's siblings and mother traveled to the city to be with their brother's wife so that she doesn't harm herself out of heartbreak. They left no stone unturned in their search for their brother. After 3 weeks, nothing was heard of Okonkwo. Hearts were shattered. They left the grieving wife, assuring her Okonkwo would be found, that she should hold on strong, if not for anything, for the sake of the little child she was nursing. 2 days after they left, Dave returned to meet his lover Akwa. The two were surprised. Nobody was able to find Okonkwo's car they dumped by the riverside. They were wondering what must have happened to the car and Okonkwo's body. 2 months after, nothing was heard of Okonkwo's whereabouts. Gradually, Akwa started living her normal life. She and her lover started living together, and she began to forget about her dead husband Okonkwo. Dave was so nice to her and he was so romantic. They never bothered about money because Okonkwo left enough wealth behind. They were living their best lives. She gave Dave key to one of Okonkwo's car to be driving. Gradually, Akwa's lover Dave began to change. He would demand he gives him a huge sum of money, and when she asked what he needed the money for, he would beat her up. He started keeping late nights, squandering Okonkwo's wealth. He would always come home drunk and would pass on Akwa if she tries to ask him his whereabouts. It was at this point Akwa started missing her late husband, Okonkwo. Okonkwo had never laid his hand on her. He had always carried her like an egg. It was at this point she realized how she destroyed a priceless gift God blessed her with. She wished she could turn back the hands of time. One night, she had waited for her lover Dave to return home, and when he finally returned, he had come home carrying a pretty lady. Akwa stared at both of them in disbelief. When she asked who the lady was, Dave had pushed her aside and entered the room with the lady and locked the door. Akwa had cried that night and swore that Dave must leave her house first thing in the morning. The next morning, after the strange lady that came home with Dave left, she asked Dave to vacate her house because she doesn't want to ever see him in her entire life. Dave laughed at her and told her he goes nowhere, and if she insists, he would tell the whole world how she killed her husband Okonkwo. Akwa was shocked. "But you are the one that killed my husband, David," Akwa snapped. Dave laughed at her again and said, "Is that what you think, woman? Wait until I turn the whole story around." "You are a devil, David," Akwa cried. "You are a devil incarnate. See how you just destroyed my home." Akwa fell on the floor crying. The house became a battleground. Akwa hid all the car keys when she found out it was the major contributor to David's waywardness, which infuriated David so much. He threatened to kill her and her son too if she doesn't release one of the keys to him. One fateful Saturday, Akwa drove to a supermarket to shop for the family. When she stopped at the supermarket parking space and was about to open her car door, she sighted a familiar car leaving the supermarket. A cold shiver ran down her spine. "Is this not my late husband's car?" she asked herself. Before she could come down from her car, the car was out of sight. "Oh my God, what's happening?" She trembled. She entered into her car and drove straight home. Immediately she got home and parked. She was about entering the house when she spotted her late husband's car parked in the compound. "Oh my God," she shouted and held her beating heart. Fear gripped her. She didn't know if to enter the house or to run away. She slowly pushed the front door and tiptoed into the house. Her heart nearly jumped out of her body when a familiar voice said to her, "Welcome home, Akwa. It's good to see you again." She found herself standing face to face with Okonkwo. She wanted to say something, but no word was coming out of her mouth. Okonkwo had a smile on his face and was looking around the house. "You're acting like you have seen a ghost," another deep masculine voice said to her. She turned to the direction of the voice and noticed that Okonkwo had come with other people, 2 able-bodied men and a pretty lady. She was surprised to see the lady carrying her son she had left in the care of her nanny before she left to the market. In the other corner of the room, she saw David in handcuffs with a bleeding and swollen face. Her heart was beating faster than before. She dashed to grab her baby, but she was stopped halfway by one of the men Okonkwo had come with. She started shedding tears and was about to say something before one of the men showed her his ID card and asked her to remain silent and cooperate with them because anything she says will be used against her in the court of law. She was also handcuffed. She and her man friend Dave was led to the car and taken to the police station. What Akwa and Dave didn't know was that Okonkwo was rescued from the river the night they dropped him off in the river by the lady she met carrying her son in the sitting room. The pretty lady had come to the river that fateful night to end it all, after days of battling heartbreak, but had taken cover when a car drove to the river, and she watched as two people dropped a man into the river. The moment the two people left, she went after the man dropped in the river at once. She was able to drag him out of the river, into the car, then drove him straight to the hospital, where Okonkwo was confirmed alive but in a coma. That was how Okonkwo was able to survive and stayed with the lady until he was recovered. I hope you enjoyed this amazing tale. Let us know what you think and grab from the story in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos, and please do leave a like for us as well. Thank you so much for your time and support. Bye.